There goes my wife. Okay, it's getting real now. I'm at the 346 trailhead up here at the northern terminus of the Allegheny National Forest North Country Trail section. Just down the road to my right here is Willow Bay Campground. I'm gonna walk up the top of the hill to the New York, Pennsylvania state line, and I plan on starting there. So I got a 600-foot climb ahead of me over the next mile to get up to the border, and then we will start the tracking and get this thing underway. Let's roll. Off into the darkness. My first blue blaze of the morning. All right, made it here to the border of New York and Pennsylvania. I want to sign in real quick, and then we'll get this thing underway. All right, it's go time. It is 6:32 a.m., so I'm just a few minutes behind schedule. I was hoping to get on the trail right at 6:30. You can see the little sign there behind me, just barely. We are at the Pennsylvania-New York border. I have 100 miles ahead of me down to the Baker Trailhead on Route 66 outside of Marionville. This is basically the same course as the A100 Challenge that is held every June. I just started 1 mile further north of where they usually start or end, because I wanted to come up to the Pennsylvania-New York border. All right, starting my navigation now. It is 6:35 on September 11th, 2023. Here we go. It's daylight already. 2 miles later, back to the 346 trailhead, and I no longer need my headlamp. There's where I was dropped off and began that uphill climb to the border. And in order to save my headlamps for tonight, I use this little pinky size flashlight. Looks great. But holding that in one hand forced me to hold my poles in the other hand. All right, let's go jump back on this trail down the road here somewhere. There we go. All right, into the woods for the first light of the day. I'm ready, feeling good. We'll see how I feel in 50 miles, haha. What a beautiful day. Right at 60 degrees. The high today is like 72 to 74. No rain in the forecast. It's supposed to be partly cloudy today until about noon, and then the sun's gonna come out. But I'm hoping I'll be in full shade most of the day, so I don't think that will affect me. Trail conditions are pretty good. And you can see there's some rocks here and there, and not too much mud. I've went through a few slimy, muddy, slick spots I had to tiptoe around, but for the most part, really good conditions. There's a lot of dew on the foliage hanging into the trail, so my shoes are a little bit damp. Not bad. I'm sure they'll dry out over the next couple hours. You know, one of my biggest fears coming into this was encountering the orb weaver spider, my nemesis. I hate spiders, and I hate the spider webs that go across the trails this time of year. Had a couple small single strands across the trail when I was hiking up to the top of the hill to start at the border. But yeah, for the most part, perfect. I don't know if the rain over the last couple of days kind of removed them from the trail. I mean, the trail is pretty wide. You can see, yeah, there's trees here and there that the spider webs could be crossing, but it's pretty wide, and there's not really a opportunity for too many spiders to spin a big web across the trail. And the other thing that I'm concerned about is the thing that plagues me on just about every FKT: a distressed stomach, queasy stomach. I'll start feeling sick around mile 37 to 40, sometimes not until 50. I'm hoping I can curb that today by staying better hydrated, more electrolytes and salt, and keeping on top of my tailwind. Taking my 300 calories of tailwind every hour and a half. If you would like to see what my calories are that I brought on this trip, we're gonna cut to that right now, and I'll show you exactly everything that's in my pack to sustain me throughout this 100 miles. For this FKT, Tailwind is going to be my primary source of calories. I have 3 different flavors, color-coded in 3 different bags, and then I'm also bringing 4 bags of caffeinated Tailwind. And I use this little cut-off smart water bottle as a funnel to help put the Tailwind into my flasks. In addition to Tailwind, I got 3 spring energy gels, a couple packets of coconut oil, a few Cliff Blocks, a packet gourmet smoothie for breakfast, some LMNT electrolytes, a couple waffles, honey stinger waffles, a Cliff Bar, a Snickers, 1 Cliff Shot that's caffeinated, and some ginger chews for helping my stomach, 1 coffee and another caffeinated drink, as well as a few fruit leathers and a bag of salt and vinegar chips. So this is a look at everything that will be fueling me along the FKT. I also got a toilet paper kit, 2 charging cables, 1 for the iPhone and 1 for the headlamps, a set of earbuds, 2 Nightcore NU25 headlamps, my Garmin InReach Mini, a little mini flashlight as a backup that weighs next to nothing, and a 10,000 milliamp Anchor power bank. 1 long sleeve shirt, an extra pair of Darn Tough socks, 1 pair of Injinji toe liners, and my Helium 2 rain jacket. Everything will be carried in my Salomon 5-liter running vest with 2 water flasks. It was a pretty tight fit, but fortunately I was able to squeeze everything in. Here are a few other important items coming along with me, some salt tabs, Tums, and ginger gum. In my medical kit, I have some monkey butt cream, Picardin cream for insects, Body Glide, a few bandages, and some compressed towelettes. Advil, KT tape. I will not be bringing the chapstick. I have Leuko tape wrapped around that lighter, a needle, some Imodium, and padded tape. This is everything coming along with me in my little emergency medical kit. And coming along for the ride will be my GoPro 10 to film my adventure, which I will be carrying in my Light AF fanny pack. Well, there you have it, everything that's coming with me on my 100-mile unsupported FKT along the North Country Trail in the Allegheny National Forest. And as you can see, the total weight with everything packed in the Salomon 5-liter pack is 6 pounds 10 ounces. But once I add the power bank and the InReach Mini, it puts me up over 7 pounds 5 ounces, so not too shabby. I was hoping to keep everything under 7 pounds, but I'm pretty happy with that, and this does not include water. I'm currently here at Cook State Forest Ridge Campground, ready to start the FKT tomorrow morning, and want to give you one final look at everything that I'll be wearing and taking with me. Compression sleeves, Dirty Girl gaiters, a pair of Ultra Olympus 4s, Darn Tough socks, long sleeve synthetic shirt, pair of Saks underwear, synthetic short sleeve shirt, and just a cheap pair of running shorts. So that's everything that'll be on my body. The final pack completely loaded and ready to go with 2 soft flasks, and you can see the one right there that has the red filter inside. That's the XA. I think it's just called the XA filter for the Salomon flasks. So I can just quickly scoop water and then squeeze it into this flask, which will have the Tailwind. I mean, that's a pretty nice campsite. Getting our first look at the Allegheny Reservoir. Maybe this is considered Kinzu Bay. The water's way down. Wow. Got the bay, or the reservoir right there on my right. Just a big, open, beautiful woods. Perfect single track trail. Nice water source. I just got water about a half mile ago. And I made my first mistake of the trip. This flask has Tailwind. This one is just water with a water filter. I put my Tailwind powder in here and then went and scooped up water with it and put the filter in it and started squeezing it into this one. So I did it backwards. And then I noticed the one I was squeezing had all the white powder in it, getting all clogged up in the filter. So I dumped it all out, started from scratch, put me behind 4 or 5 minutes. So this clean bag now has been exposed to dirty water. Nothing I can do about it. Just popped out onto 321. I think we just have a quarter mile maybe on this road before we head back into the woods. Certainly a good opportunity to speed it up a little bit and pick up the pace on an easy section like this. So my pacing strategy for this 100 miler is to try to bank some miles early on, because I know I'm going to slow down in the later sections. So I'm trying to maintain a nice conservative 12 to 14 minute per mile pace. Now you out there that are ultra runners are probably like, oh my gosh, that's so slow. Yeah, I mean, there's some technical sections. You're gonna get slowed down to 18 to 20 minutes pace going up some hills, but then I'll make it back up on the downhills going about a 9 or 10 minute mile. So far, I've been able to stay in that 11 to 13 minute range on every mile, except that one where I made the mistake with the tailwind. I think I had a 16 minute mile there. That killed me. Alrighty, let's pick it back up. There's the trailhead sign. So something I should have mentioned when I was talking about my pacing strategy, I want to break 30 hours. I mean, I'm going to finish even if it takes me 32 or 33 or 34 hours, but my goal is to break 30. 27, 28 would be really nice. And to break 30, I just need to average an 18 minute mile. It's easier said than done, especially in the last 25, 30 miles. Right now it's a piece of cake. We'll see what happens later on. Mile 24. And right here where I stand on this bridge, crossing this river, is 76 more miles to the end, which is where I stopped, right down there, to filter water before I went to bed and called it on the Allegheny 100. So I've officially completed the entire Allegheny National Forest NCT section. And we got a long ways to go. I feel pretty good. Cardio's holding up well. Feet feel great. Nutrition intake's going well. The only issue I notice is my right patella kneecap, under the lower kneecap area, is a little sore every now and then going down the downhills. But other than that, doing well. I gotta keep on trucking. I just took a 4 or 5 minute break. Had to take my pack off and get some more tailwind out, filter some water. So I hate stopping for that long, but those are some of the things that have to be done, and I figure it was a good time to do it, because I don't think I have another water source until I get down near Red Bridge Campground in a couple miles. I'm gonna try to get back in the groove here and get moving again. Believe me, I would like to walk for a while, but if I do that, I want to fall way behind. So I'm a little rested now and ready to go. So I think right here is where I slept after I caught it on the Allegheny 100. There was a little marker sign there though, because that's what I hung my bivvy on. Still smell some campfire smoke down there. This is the second shelter I've passed. Pretty nice. Whew! Been climbing the hill for over a mile. That was brutal. Obviously walked the whole thing. Ready to start running again. But I just thought of something else I meant to mention earlier when I was talking about my strategy for this 100 miles. Each 25 mile section, I kind of have a different allotted amount of time to complete it. So I wanted to complete the first 25 miles in 6 hours, which I did. It was exactly 6 hours on the dot. I'm giving myself 7 hours for the next 25, and then 8 hours for the last two 25s. And if you add that up, that is 6 plus 7 plus 16. So 13 plus 16 is 29 hours. So as long as I can do that, I will break the 30-hour mark. Easier said than done. Crossing the Red Bridge. Got a couple kayakers out there. That looks relaxing. You can see how far the water level's down. Wow. We head back in the woods, out there about a quarter mile to the right. 33 miles, 1/3 of the way done. And I feel pretty tired. I've kind of been waiting for my second wind to kick in. It hasn't happened yet. I took my first caffeinated tailwind, took a salt tablet, my second salt tablet. And there's been some brutal hills. I forgot how much elevation gain there was on this trail. I mean, it's 13,000 feet over the 100 miles, so it doesn't seem that bad. But man, alive, it has been non-stop hills. Whew, just trying to catch my breath so I can start running again. All right, here we go. Oh man, that is a sight for sore eyes. Whew, this is the same shelter that I stopped and took a 20-minute break on when I was going the other way during the A100. And I'm gonna stop and take a 4 or 5 minute break right now. I am 36.3 miles in. I'm almost out of water. Route 6 is just a mile down the trail. Hoping there's some water after I cross Route 6 because I need some bad. I'm gonna stop here, take my vest off, get some more nutrition out of the back. Maybe take 2 Advil. My knees are hurting just a little bit. And in less than 5 minutes, we're right back on the trail. Here's the trail registry box at Route 6. The Route 6 trailhead parking lot is right down there. I have signed in on 2 of these, but it just takes too much time. I did it at the very beginning and one other one, and I've probably skipped 6 so far. I would love to sign in on every one of them, but man, it slows you down like 2 minutes at each one. That adds up. So I think I'm just gonna film them from now on. That way, if there's ever any question that I went through every area of the trail, at least I'll have them on video. Currently 38 miles in, so I'm 12 away from the halfway point, and I have 3 hours and 20 minutes to get there. So a little under 4 miles an hour. Not sure what the pace is gonna be. So yeah, 16, maybe a 15 to 16 minute mile. So if I can do that for the next 3 hours, I will stick to the pace I set for myself, and we'll have finished the second set of 25 miles in 7 hours, which is what I wanted to do. That'll put me at 13 hours in at the halfway point. And then it's gonna come into nightfall, and I'm sure my pace is gonna really drop. I'll probably be mostly walking tonight, maybe a little bit of downhill running, we'll see. So that's the plan. Wow, now that is some good running ground right there. Soft and smooth, and downhill. So quiet. Barely even a breeze. It's been fairly calm all day, other than a few grouse. Maybe 1 or 2 deer I heard but did not see. It has been completely calm and quiet for the last 10 hours. We just hit the 10-hour mark right now, and we're getting ready to. Back in June when I came through this spot, there was someone camping there. Not a bad spot to camp. He had his camper there and truck. Pretty nice. Hey, looky there. 40 miles in. And time for some tunes. I've been asked several times over the years, what music do I listen to? Whoa! I'm on this little walk plank and I walked right off of it. So what kind of music do I listen to when I'm hiking? Well, you're probably gonna laugh when I tell you. It is a collection of all the audio clips, music clips that are all instrumental that have been in all of my YouTube videos over the last 6 years. I just downloaded them off of my computer onto my phone, and I created a favorites playlist of maybe the 30 or 40 best ones that I like to hear. And the reason that is the music that I choose to listen to is because when I hear these clips, I relive all of my amazing backpacking trips and hiking trips and FKTs that I've been on. It makes me think about the great campsites I've had, the awesome friends that I've hiked with. And every time I start playing this music, it just pumps me up and puts a big smile on my face. 12 hours in, I just hit the 47-mile mark, so I'm pretty happy with that. 3 more miles to the big 50, and I got an hour to get there to stay on pace. Another nice shelter. Very tempting to go sit down and rest for a minute, but I can't. Whew. I'm currently at the location where I left my drop bag, right up in the woods there. There's a little trailhead parking area that I parked in right over there. No drop bag on this one, fully unsupported. Everything is in my pack. What a pretty area. There's so many awesome campsites around here that I just passed, right on this river. Big milestone, mile 50. Halfway through this challenge and feeling pretty darn good. I can't believe it. You know, back between mile 25 and 35, I was dragging hard and was getting a little concerned. But I upped my calories a little bit, been staying hydrated. The Lord answered my prayers, and I got that second wind I needed. Things have been going well, and ready to tackle this next 25-mile segment in the dark. You know, even though I feel really good right now, I know there is misery to come. It will be expected to have at least 1 or 2 more very, very low points in the middle of the night. Probably in the wee hours of the morning before daylight, before daybreak. I'm gonna feel terrible. So I'm gonna try to be proactive and counteract that with upping the hydration and calories, you know, late into the night, early in the morning hours, because I know it's coming. Even though things feel good right now, it's not gonna feel that way all night long, I guarantee it. I gotta be prepared to enter the pain cave. All right, I'm gonna take a load off here at the Hunter Station Shelter. Oh, I'm currently at mile 58 and it's 10 o'clock. I'm getting kind of tired. I've been pushing hard to get to the shelter. I have a few things I need to do. This is gonna be my one big stop of the night. Hopefully my only big stop of the night. My Garmin died on my chest there. So I'm gonna get the battery bank out and plug it in. I need a new GoPro battery put in. I'm gonna change my shirt and socks into some clean, dry ones for these final 40 miles. And lay down and take a load off for at least 5 minutes. So I'll probably be here for at least 10 minutes. Got a lot of things to do. Coming up on 24 hours, right there. 76.83 miles. If I could have stayed on pace, I would be around 85 or 90. But I got sick at mile 60, and again at mile 70, And it's went downhill since then. Good morning. It's finally light enough out to film again. Unfortunately, it happened again. Things were going good until mile 50, until mile 60. The illness came on, queasy stomach came on really fast. So I threw up at mile 60, couldn't keep anything down, didn't feel like eating anything. Threw up again at mile 70, started getting the shivers and put on my rain jacket. That's the only other layer I brought. I was getting really cold. So cold, in fact, that I tried to start a fire. We're using the paper out of the back of the journal in the shelter. It didn't work. I failed miserably. Everything was wet. The paper just wouldn't take off. But the process of trying to start a fire and throwing up, I got warmed back up and I've been inching my way along for the last 3 hours at a snail's pace. I mean, 2 to 2.5 miles an hour. Just terrible. And I still can't eat anything. So I got my wife picking me up. I got about 2 miles down to this crossroads and she's gonna be picking me up. I'm currently at mile 78, so it looks like I'm gonna get about 80 miles in on this trek. I know you're thinking, my gosh, it's only 20 more miles to finish it up. That 20 miles is gonna take me 9 hours. My whole day would be shot. My quads are shot and I just can't eat, so I'm done. I'm done with the Allegheny Trail. I feel like I'm done with FKTs. Yep, I think it's time to hang up the FKT shoes. This may be the last FKT video you ever see from me. The next video on my channel will most likely be an enjoyable backpacking trip or kayak camping trip. Having a successful ending to an FKT is not always the case. Learning to accept failure comes with the territory. When I start an FKT, I always feel like I'm going to succeed. But I also know that difficult times lie ahead, and realizing that failure is possible is something that you have to consider. Even though I've had my fair share of success when running FKTs and ultras, I've also felt the sting of failure, and it's never easy to accept. The emotional highs and lows that you experience during an FKT attempt or an ultra can often feel like a roller coaster and be hard to process when failures do occur. And being able to put the failures behind you and move on from them is not always easy, especially when so much time and energy has been invested. The 350-mile Sheltowee Trace overall FKT has been my top competition objective for 2023. But after this second failure on the NCT, I was ready to hang it up and not pursue the Sheltowee any longer. But after much thought and prayer, I have decided to continue this quest and will be taking it on one last time in the supported category while I'm still in the best shape of my life, so stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to documenting my adventure to share with you all. As always, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I will see you again real soon on the next adventure.